4.9 runs and over. Never before had Ravindra Jadeja conceded at a brisker run rate in a test innings at home. Since his debut in 2012, Jadeja has been one of the prime reasons for India's success in the longest format of the game at home and has carved out an identity by bowling quickly through his overs and not giving the opposition an opportunity to settle. But in the first innings of the first Test match against England, that was barely the case. Despite his 3 wickets, Jadeja wasn't invincible with the ball. And despite England being bowled out in less than 65 overs, it was their batting style which was the centre of attention more so than India's bowling, as the term Bazball started trending on social media. But what is Bazball? For the uninitiated, the term, which was added to the HarperCollins dictionary in 2023, has its origin in the name of England's Test coach Brendan McCullum, who's fondly referred to in cricketing circles as Baz. The meaning put to it by HarperCollins dictionary is a style of Test cricket in which the batting side attempts to gain initiative by playing in an aggressive manner. But before we take a deep dive into its meaning, let's look at its backstory. In the summer of 2022, when Brendan McCullum took over as head coach of England's red ball team, their Test cricket had been in shambles. They had conceded a 2-1 lead to India in a home Test series, lost 4-0 to Australia in an away Ashes, and had also been bested by the West Indies in a 2 Test match series. All of this in less than a year's time. With McCullum as head coach and Ben Stokes as captain, things changed pretty swiftly and pretty drastically as England went from being the team with their backs against the wall at all times to a team that went after choking the opposition right from the word go. Runs were scored at a quicker run rate than any of the teams in Test cricket. Declarations came sooner than they were expected, and fourth innings chases were made to look like a cakewalk. Indian fans would remember Johnny Bairstow and Joe Root trailblazing their way to 378 runs in the fourth innings, scoring almost 4.5 runs and over in that famous chase in the one-off Test match in 2022 on that final day. A similar treatment was met out to New Zealand, to South Africa, and even to Australia in last year's Ashes series, where England went from 2-0 down to 2-2 and almost winning it 3-2. But make no mistake, Bazball isn't just about scoring runs at a quick run rate. In an exclusive interview to the Indian Express, Dinesh Karthik explained, "I feel the term Bazball isn't understood well. It isn't about applying pressure. It is about being the best version of yourselves. It means when you are going to absorb pressure, you do so and you do so in your own way. It isn't just about scoring runs at 6 or 7 runs and over." It is also not just restricted to England's batting. In a chat with the Indian Express, Monty Panesar, the former English spinner, explained as to how England will Bazball with their spinners in the ongoing India versus England Test series. With just one Test match between their 3 young spinners, what Ben Stokes would want of these young spinners is to get him those 5 wickets inside 16 or perhaps 20 overs, even if they go for 100 runs, rather than doing all the same in 40 overs. I feel, as said Monty, that would be the way they Bazball with their spinners. It would be almost like luring the Indian batters to score runs against these spinners rather than putting the onus on the spinners to take the wickets of the Indian batters. But perhaps the most toned down explainer of the term Bazball came from England skipper Ben Stokes in the summer of 2022. Something I've tried to bring in with my captaincy is to remove the pressure of international cricket from the players. Sometimes we tend to forget that we are working in the entertainment industry and that we need to entertain people 5 days in a row. So, if one can't as of now predict if this England team is going to win or not in India, rest assured they're going to be entertaining visitors for the next 7 weeks.